Hi guys, welcome back to the build log series, the final installment, finally getting the PC built. I know it's been long overdue. We'll get into a little bit more about why it's taken me so long to get to this point after the video, but for now let's roll the tape. guys, that's it. Computer is built, everything's running, as you can see behind me here. I'm working on this video now, so everything is working together nicely. A little bit of an update on why it's taken me so long to get to this point. Obviously there's a little thing going around at the moment called COVID, and it's causing all kinds of problems with supply and stuff in the computer, not just in the computing industry but globally. But the computing industry has been hit particularly hard. I'm sure you've heard about scalping and all things going on with the video cards and the CPU releases recently. I was lucky enough to manage to get hold of an RTX 3090, which is the biggest component I was waiting for. I've had that on back order since October, but it's in there now. It's ready for me to start doing some proper creative stuff, and it's not going to slow me down like my old system did. So that was one problem that we had. Obviously, supply of the CPU, the GPU, power supply as well. That's another thing that's been hit really hard. But personally for me, another thing that slowed me down was, as you were expecting, I was going to try and put all this into the old Mac Pro tower. Obviously that's not the case, no pun intended. But the issue with that was that the ATX form factor for the motherboards was not going to fit into that case no matter what I did. The only way I would have been able to do it was to have a custom milled backplate which had the PCIe slots moved slightly in relation to the rest of the stuff. But I need all 3 PCIe slots because my GPU is a 2.7, I think it's basically a 3-slot card, and that covers up my secondary PCIe slot, so I need the third one for my RAID card, and it wouldn't have fit into the Mac Pro with the power supply in its normal orientation, which meant I would have had to move the input for the cables and all that around. So I think what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to do a small form factor ITX, mini ATX kind of motherboard size, which will give me space at the top for the power supply, and I will invest in a power supply bracket. And my dad needs a new PC, so maybe, you know, that'll be that project. I'll build him a new PC in that case. But yeah, the cost of getting all of the brackets and the, you know, the custom plates and things like that for this build, it outweighed the cost of just up and buying a pre-built. I've got a Corsair case here. And yeah, so it was just faster for me to do that, and since I needed to get this built so I could start doing things again, I needed to have that done. And then, once I actually had the PC all apart and I had it built, the A2 DIMM on the motherboard died on me, it gave me all kinds of RAM issues and memory errors and blue screens and stuff like that. And after initially testing it, I thought it was the RAM, so I sent that off. And then it turned out it was the motherboard, so I had to send that back. So I was waiting for the RAM to be RMA'd and come back to me. I was waiting for the return on the motherboard. It was outside of Amazon's 30-day window, so I had to, you know, go through them, do the customer service chat thing, and then get the money back. And then I only managed to get Amazon store credit, so I had to buy the motherboard from Amazon, but all of the Asus boards that I had were gone because I'd invested in that Prime Pro, because it was a black and white monochrome kind of style which I wanted. And in the end, all the motherboards that were in my price range were out of stock, or they were you know, inflated prices. So I settled on a slightly more expensive than original motherboard, but it was from a different brand. It's a Gigabyte Aorus I have now, Aorus Master. And that came again with its own issues, because the motherboard I'd already installed was an Asus, had all the Asus software, all the Asus drivers, all the firmware for the Realtek LAN and audio drivers installed. So when I installed the Gigabyte board, all of that was compatibility nightmares, there was crashes, there was instabilities, there was driver issues. So I had to go through safe mode and other various troubleshooting methods to get all of that old Asus stuff uninstalled before I could install the up-to-date drivers from Gigabyte. And then because there was software that Gigabyte installs by default, it was messing up some of the Ryzen chipset drivers I had to get. So it was just this ongoing sort of struggle to try and get it built. But we're here now, it's running, I'm editing videos on it. So hopefully now I'll be able to get some more content out to you guys a little bit more regularly. Maybe not on a weekly basis yet, but I'm working towards, you know, something like that. I do have some ideas. So if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see me create, like I say, I'm particularly leaning towards 3D at the moment because I can't get out and film as much as I'd like to. And COVID restrictions, people don't want that kind of filming. But yeah, if there's anything you guys would like to see me do, please do hit me up in the comments or send me a message or something. And I'll keep you updated with stuff as and when I get it through. But this is it, this is my system. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.